Howdy folks, I don't know where you are in your minimalist Scooby-Doo applique rotation, if you've done others or if this is your very first one, but you have chosen the second easiest applique to do because Scooby-Doo only has 3 applique pieces. One is in brown and 2 smaller ones are in a teal blue. So you hoop up your base fabric and some medium weight cutaway. You throw this in the machine and you run color stop 1, and we will be back after color stop 1. All right, here we are, guys. So we've got our die line, so all we do is we float the Scooby over the Doo and we run our tack down. So we'll be back in a second. There we go. There's our Scooby. We are going to, and this is, like I said, one of the easier ones because I lied to you. I said there's just the blue and the blue and the brown. I forgot his tongue, obviously. Duh. So you'll need a small piece of pink. But we're gonna step by step it so you'll know. And if you look at the how-to, I wasn't quite as much of an idiot. Maybe I won't be quite because I haven't written it yet, but it'll have Scooby's tongue in there. I promise. Scooby will not be tongueless. So let's go ahead and trim this out, throw it back in the machine, and run color stop 3. Color stop 3. That'll give you die line for your next applique piece. So as soon as I get done, there, haha, boom, boom, come here. There, and there, and okay, see you for the next applique piece. Okay, we're back, and in true Ricky fashion, I have no idea where I'm at or what I'm doing. So I started these applique patterns for the Scooby Gang last night, or yesterday afternoon, and then I needed to get on the internet and get the patterns converted for the stitch along and get all of that set up and ready to go. So I paused the machines, and then I walked back in here this morning and I'm like, what am I doing? So if I repeat or am stupid, and that's part of the entertainment value, isn't it? Okay, so there's Scooby. We got his applique laid down for his face. Actually, his face and his neck and blah, blah, blah. And I said Scooby only had 3 pieces of applique. I lied. He's got 4. Our next piece of applique is going to be his collar. So we're going to put it in the machine and run that die line, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, guys, we've got the die line for his collar. So I am just going to float this little piece of teal fabric or aqua blue right there and run the tack down, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so that was color stop 4 that we just ran to tack down his collar. We're going to trim that out super quick. And remember, on applique, we want to be as close to the zigzag as we possibly can get without clipping the zigzag. And then when you get over here to the layered appliques where there's 2 layers, you want to be real careful. Of course, always when you're doing applique, you want to be careful not to clip your base fabric. But now you've also got this other fabric that you need to pay attention to. So until you're really good at this, and you get really good by practicing, you want to go slow, take your time, be careful. So now that we've got this all taken care of, we're going to pop it back in the machine and run color stop 5, which will give us the die line for the actual tag on his collar. Back in a second. See, I told you it'd be a hot second, and I wasn't lying. So let's float this little piece of fabric right there and tack it down, and back in a second. Okay, and here we are. We have got the last piece of aqua blue or teal or whatever color you want to call this put down. We're going to trim this out, and this is an easy trim. It's 4 straight lines. Yay. I say it's an easy trim, and then watch me struggle. See, this is what happens when you tempt the fates. Okay, so easy trim, got that trimmed out. The next one is the die line for the tongue, 2, 4, 6. So it should be color stop 7, We'll give you the die line for the tongue, and we'll be back in just a second. Look at how super quick this is going. So there is our die line for his tongue. And I'm gonna float this little pink like so. And we'll be back in a second. Okie dokie, guys. We've got the very last piece of applique laid down on this little guy. And we're gonna trim it out. So from here on out, there is no more applique trimming. You're gonna treat this. There doesn't need to be any stops or pauses if you're doing a multi-needle. If you're doing a single needle, then you'll just change your colors. And from color stop, including color stop 9, all the way through color stop 12, the colors are correct. So the next thing I'm gonna do is it's going to do a pink thread, and it's going to do some highlight inside his ears. Then it's going to do a yellow thread, and it's going to do the initials and lettering inside his dog tag. Then it's going to do black, and that is the whole satin with some of the satin details. And then it'll come back and do that yellow again for the loop connecting his collar to his tag. That's got to be the last thing because it goes on top of some satins. So I am going to go ahead and run the next 4 color stops, 9, 10, 11, and 12, all by their lonesomes, and we'll be back at the very end. Okay, guys, so on Scooby-Doo, we are all finished. Okay, there's nothing left to do on him except pop him out of the hoop, trim out his stabilizer on the back, and then use him for whatever you are going to use him from. Oops, I missed a jump stitch. Look at me. There we go. So Scooby's applique is all done. Hope that seemed easy enough for you guys. Peace.